Breaking news tonight on TrendWave.
Suffer, but I'm a suffer. Loose man, she a day man, morphine away me. Where truth rise the wave. You never lost key, you never see she. Then I your face, we on to the place, skin away me. Catch the wave of truth. From the Caribbean to the world, this is TrendWave News TV.
Good evening, I'm Alex Green, and we begin with the biggest travel week of the year turning into a nationwide gridlock. There has been a record-breaking passenger numbers. TSA screened nearly 32 million travelers this week, the highest in U.S. history. Major hubs like Atlanta, Orlando, and Dallas reported 1 to 2 hour screening lines. Orlando International, MCO, heavily used by the Caribbean diaspora, saw holiday crowds that resembled carnival season, according to airport staff. The current weather system causes nationwide ripple effects. Snowstorms in the Midwest and heavy rain on the East Coast triggered 8,000-plus delays, 1,200-plus cancellations. Airlines like Delta and American issued travel waivers, allowing passengers to rebook without fees. The impact on Caribbean travelers. Large numbers of Jamaicans and Caribbean families traveling from Florida, New York, and Georgia were stranded overnight. Several passengers heading to Kingston and Montego Bay were rebooked 24 to 48 hours later. Tonight, the question is, with travel demand at an all-time high, is the U.S. aviation system prepared for 2026? This could be one of the most important immigration rulings in decades, and yes, it affects thousands in the Caribbean diaspora. The issue. The court heard arguments this week on whether long-term green card holders with old non-violent offenses can face retroactive deportation. The case centers on how the law defines a crime of moral turpitude. Why this matters: over 220,000 U.S. permanent residents could be affected. Many immigrants who have lived in America for 20-30 years may face sudden removal. Diaspora impact. Jamaican, Haitian, Trinidadian, and Guyanese communities are watching closely.
Attorneys warn of possible sweeping consequences, depending on the ruling. Legal analysts say this ruling could reshape how America treats long-time immigrants, and families should stay informed.
Headline number 3. U.S. economy. Inflation slows again, but rent and food prices still squeeze families. Inflation cooling. Inflation dropped to 3.2%, its lowest in 18 months. Gas prices hit a national average of $3.04, easing pressure for holiday travelers. But not all good news. Rent increased 6 to 8% year over year in major cities. Grocery essentials like eggs, rice, chicken, and bread remain 10 to 15% above pre-pandemic levels. The Caribbean household impact. Immigrant families sending remittances say higher living costs reduce what they can send home. Diaspora communities in Florida, New York, and New Jersey report tight budgeting heading into December. Experts say this holiday season may see the smallest household spending increase in years. Headline number 4. AI safety law passes. Senate, new rules for tech companies. New regulations approved. The U.S. Senate passed the AI Accountability and Safety Act, bringing new rules to companies developing powerful AI tools. Requirements include safety testing, bias prevention, human oversight in government use, transparency on training data sources, business reaction. Big tech companies warn about overregulation, saying innovation will slow. But consumer advocates say the law is essential to prevent misuse of AI systems. Analysts say AI will create new high-tech jobs, but also threaten lower-skilled jobs, especially in customer service and retail. Caribbean and immigrant workers in these industries may be disproportionately affected. The law will reshape how AI is used in America, in your job, your home, and your future. Headline number 5. Black Friday and Cyber Monday break records. Online shopping surges. Americans spent $13.8 billion online on Cyber Monday alone, an all-time record. Buy now, pay pay-later purchases jumped 18% from last year. Electronics, toys, smart home tech, clothing, beauty products, travel deals. Many Caribbean families use the sales to send barrels, gifts, and appliances home. Shipping companies in South Florida reported overflow crowds. This may be one of the strongest online retail seasons in U.S. history. Headline number 6, U.S. housing crisis deepens. Mortgage rates fall, but prices keep rising. Tonight, America's housing crisis is sending mixed signals, and none of them are simple. Mortgage rates fall, but buyers still locked out. Rates dipped to 6.47%, the lowest in 10 months. However, home prices surged another 4.8% nationally. Inventory remains near a 20-year low. Renters facing pressure. Monthly rents hit national averages, $1,227 for a one-bedroom, $2,312 for a two-bedroom. Cities like Miami, Orlando, and New York, where Caribbean families dominate, have some of the steepest increases. Diaspora impact. Many immigrant families remain renters longer because down payments are out of reach. Remittances to the Caribbean, lowered savings for home buying. For working families and single parents, the dream of home ownership continues to slip further away. Headline number 7. Congress divided over new border security bill. A bipartisan group introduced a new border security framework and immediately triggered political fireworks. What the bill proposes: more border agents, increased asylum processing, a new high-tech surveillance network, stricter penalties for traffickers. Conservatives argue the bill does not go far enough. Progressives say it over-criminalizes migrants. The White House wants a deal before year-end. Immigration groups warn the bill might speed up certain deportations. Jamaican, Haitian, and Guyanese advocates demand clearer protections for long-term residents and DACA recipients. This is a political fight with real human consequences, but we decide with Sina, Omran, Balbris Ben. Headline number 8. Major cyberattack hits U.S. hospitals. Patient data compromised in 17 states. A massive ransomware attack disabled hospital systems in 17 states, leading to ER diversions, canceled surgeries, patient record breaches. Hackers demanded millions to restore services. Nurses had to revert to paper systems. Some patients were transferred up to 90 miles for treatment. Data for over 2.7 million patients was compromised. Many Caribbean families work in healthcare. Hospitals in New York, Florida, New Jersey, and Connecticut, key diaspora centers, were directly affected. Authorities are calling this one of the most disruptive attacks on U.S. healthcare in history. Headline number 9. Nationwide teacher shortage reaches crisis levels. The U.S. is now short over 280,000 teachers, and the ripple effect is being felt in classrooms everywhere. Causes of the shortage: burnout, low salaries, high cost of living, post-pandemic resignations. Students most affected: low-income and minority communities face the largest disruptions. Some schools turn to online teaching, retired teachers, and international educators. Caribbean and immigrant teachers step up. Florida, Georgia, Texas, and Maryland continue recruiting Jamaican and Caribbean teachers through exchange programs, but immigration delays have slowed the arrival of new hires. For many schools, the crisis is stretching beyond academics into safety, structure, and stability. Headline number 10. U.S. retail theft surge prompts new crackdown. Major stores locking down. Merch retailers across America say organized theft has reached unprecedented levels, and they're responding aggressively. What's happening? Stores like Target, Walmart, CVS, and Home Depot have locked up even basic items: shampoo, laundry detergent, razor blades, infant formula numbers that shocked analysts. Organized retail crime up 29% this year. Losses exceed $112 billion nationally. The debate: retailers say crime rings are to blame. Critics argue that corporations are overstating losses. Police chiefs call it a growing urban security crisis. As holiday shopping ramps up, expect to see tighter security, more cameras, and more locked displays.
This year showed us something important. America's travel demand has fully rebounded, but the infrastructure has not. Weather was just the spark. The real issue is staffing shortages and outdated systems. Until those are fixed, holiday chaos will remain the norm.
This case is huge. If the court rules broadly, Thousands of green card holders could be placed into deportation proceedings for offenses many believed were resolved decades ago. Families need to stay updated, because the consequences could be life-changing. Those were your top 10 U.S. headlines for the week of November 23rd through 29th. From immigration to the economy, from healthcare to national security. The stories shaping America are also shaping the lives of millions in the Caribbean diaspora. Thank you for choosing TrendWave News TV. News with clarity, news with context, and news that speaks directly to our community. I'm Alex Green. Stay safe, stay informed, and stay connected.